Hey mamas! Today I'm diving into a common but often misunderstood condition that can affect babies. If your little one seems to struggle with head and neck movements, you might have wondered what is going on, and you might have heard about torticollis but not sure what it is. So stick around as we explore this condition, how it affects your baby, and most importantly, how you can help. Torticollis, also known as congenital muscular torticollis, is a condition that causes your baby's neck muscles to tighten, leading to an inability to move their head freely. And this can be concerning for parents who want to ensure their child's comfort and development. If you're worried that your baby may be dealing with torticollis or other body tightness, I've created a comprehensive resource to assist you. Check out my Baby Body Bliss Guide, a valuable tool to assess your baby's condition and take informed steps towards their well-being. The link is in the description below. Before we jump in, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm Kaili, and as a pediatric therapist and infant craniosacral therapist, I've helped countless parents understand, address, and support their babies with development and body tightness, torticollis being one of them, but all sorts of other issues with feeding and not meeting milestones. So today I'm going to sort of guide you through this journey of torticollis, but also show you some different stretches and things that you can do at home. So let's start with what is torticollis. So torticollis is a condition where your baby's neck muscles tighten, causing their head to tilt to one side and also to rotate, and they often have difficulty turning it in the other direction. So this condition can occur for various reasons due to suboptimal positioning in utero, if baby is stuck and can't move freely, such as if they were in a transverse or a sideways position in utero, or even in breech position. It can also happen during labor and delivery, especially if there were external interventions such as manually trying to turn baby's position, use of forceps or vacuum extraction, or even C-section. The neck muscles often get tractioned and stretched and strained. And you'll want to look for signs such as your baby consistently tilting their head to one side. Maybe they might have a head turning preference only to one side and they don't really ever seem to turn it to the other side. Or it seems like they have a lot of difficulty turning it both ways equally. Sometimes they might be displaying that there's discomfort when you're trying to reposition their head. It's really important to recognize these signs early because then you can do something about it and help your baby to release this tightness and tension so that they can continue to develop appropriately. But torticollis is more than just about the neck. It's actually part of a total body pattern of movement in which the neck is the most obvious sign. See, the thing is that when a muscle is tight, it's holding tension for a reason. Muscles don't just decide to randomly tighten up to give us a hard time. Muscles hold on to compensate for something else. Everything in our body is connected, and so with torticollis, it often shows up at the neck, but really it starts further down at the pelvis and the hips. And you might see this as your baby sort of always slouching to one side, almost in a C shape when they're in their car seat, or if you sort of pick them up under the arms, you might see that they always kind of curve to one side. So let's talk about the impact on your baby. So torticollis can significantly impact your baby's physical development. It might affect their ability to meet important developmental milestones, such as lifting their head, rolling over, and eventually sitting up and crawling as well. And this condition can make your baby uncomfortable, leading to fussiness and restlessness. They might have trouble feeding or sleeping or interacting with you comfortably. Understanding the impact of torticollis on your baby's development and comfort really is so important because early intervention can do a lot. The sooner you address this condition, the better the outcomes will be for your child. As parents, you can play a vital role in helping your baby through this challenge. Now, your doctor may have referred you to a physiotherapist or physical therapist, and there are some really, really great ones out there working with babies and with torticollis specifically. But I want you to know that treating torticollis is usually more than just stretching the neck. In fact, just stretching the neck can often be quite painful for these babies, and no parent wants to be doing something that makes their baby cry, right? Now, of course, some stretching is likely needed, and yes, this might be uncomfortable or sensitive for your little one, but there are much gentler ways to help release the tension, not just in the neck, but throughout the body. Remember, I mentioned that torticollis usually affects the pelvis and the hips as well. So freeing and releasing tension in those areas is going to dramatically help your baby's neck tightness also. Once the hips and pelvis are free, then it becomes easier to do more of the neck movements, and yes, some stretching as well. Next, I'm going to show you some practical tips that you can incorporate into your daily routines to support your baby's progress in relieving the tension that is causing that torticollis. Next activity is called the bum wiggle, and this is really great also for babies that have a lot of tightness here, but a lot of tightness in their hips as well. We're going to have our baby on their belly in tummy time. You're going to take your hands underneath the pelvis, so underneath that bone there, and you're going to kind of hold on to the bone, and then you're literally just going to do a wiggle, 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 wiggle. And I like to do this on the soft surface because you see as I'm lifting my baby's hips up, their head is sort of going into the floor, and that will often happen with babies too. So we want to have a soft surface like the bed, or you have a nice thicker blanket on the floor, and you're doing this little wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And often babies will really like it. If they don't, you're going to slow down the wiggle. Maybe you're not lifting as high. And if they really, really don't love that, then just put them into tummy time and do a little bum rocking from side to side. And again, you can alter the speed that you're doing this with. So just like a gentle, slow speed, or maybe they want to have it a little bit faster to see what your baby likes. But that's all really going to help to release the tension in the hips and also the muscles down here along the spine. The next exercise is pelvis rotations. So you're going to have your baby in football hold. You're going to take one hand between their legs just to hold on to that pelvis, and you're just going to kind of move it forward, backward. You can do little hip circles one way, hip circles the other way. And for tight babies, this is going to be really hard. So we just want to loosen it up a little bit, right? Just playing around, whatever sort of comes naturally for you. We're just trying to loosen this whole pelvis and hip area. So we should have a baby who has a pretty flexible pelvic area, and often those tight babies, you're like not even able to get them into that flexed position. Next, we're going to do an activity called roly-poly. And so you can do this as part of the playtime that you're doing with your baby on the floor when you're rolling them in and out of tummy time. This is a great way to roll into tummy time and to practice rolling as well. So you're going to have your baby on their back. You're going to hold their hands and their feet together so that you're kind of in this little ball position. And you're literally just going to roll them slowly to one side. And you're going to wait for them to turn their head. So their head might be over here, and you're going to wait for them to turn their head to this side. And you're going to slowly to the other side. And you can sing a song like, rolling, rolling, rolling on the rug. Rolling, rolling, give your baby a hug. And you can make silly faces with your baby. Hello, baby. And we're just going to roll them. This is really great way to activate some of that stretching from an active perspective, especially when we're rolling first to that easy side and then to the other side, and they don't really want to turn their head to the other side. This is going to be a great way for them to start doing some head turning both ways, while also getting the motor plan and that feeling of what that motor movement feels like for rolling. Great way to practice that head turning and to get a little bit more of an active stretch for your baby that has some tightness in or head turning preference in their neck. Now, the next activity I want to show you is more so a stretch for the actual neck. Now, I do recommend that you are doing the body stretches first to start to loosen some of the pelvis area, the hip area, as well as the sides before we go to the neck. The neck is going to be a more sensitive place. It is often tighter, but we also just want to be very gentle with that area. So with this stretch, what you're going to do is, I like to do both sides. So what we'll do is I like to do the easy side first. So your baby's preferred side is going to be the tight side. So like this is the side that they like to go to. So we're going to actually have that side be up first so that they get a little bit of slack in the muscles. And then we'll switch them to the other side where they're going to stretch that side, right? So let's just say for our baby, this is the right side of their body. And let's say they like to turn their head to the right. So that is the sort of easy side, the yummy side. So we're going to have that side up first, okay? And we're going to put our baby here into our arms in sort of a semi-side-lying football hold. You're going to hold one knee just to give a little slack into the muscles here. So see how I'm kind of bending the knee? You're going to take this other hand underneath your arm, and we're going to give a little stretch from that shoulder and stretching that left side up. See how I'm giving more space between the shoulder and the ear? So that's going to be pretty easy for your baby because that's not their tight side. Now when we switch to the other side, their right side is going to be down, and we're going to hold that top knee a little bit bent to give some slack into the muscles here and just have them be a little bit looser. And we're going to take this arm under, hold onto the shoulder, and as you're gently pulling the shoulder away from their ear, and you're going to lift this arm to give a little bit of stretch. So it essentially looks like this is what you're doing. Okay, you can walk around the house with your baby like this, right? You can look at toys, do all sorts of things. So this is sort of like a passive stretch for your baby's neck. Okay. Now this next stretch is a lap stretch, and this is also primarily for those babies that have torticollis. So again, you're going to decide which side is your baby's easy side. So if they have a head turning preference to the right, then that right side is the side that they like to go to, because the right side is where they have the tightness and they don't like to stretch it the other way. So we're going to start with the left side down, because that will be the side that we're stretching, will be the side that you have down. And so we want to always do the easy side first, right? We're going to give it a little bit of slack, and then we're going to stretch it out. So we're going to start with the opposite side of what your baby's preference is, or where their torticollis is for this stretch. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our baby's one arm between our legs, so that they're in this side-lying position, and you're going to hold your baby just in place, sort of on their shoulder. So then you're going to take your baby, their bottom leg, right by the pelvis and the hip here. You're going to gently pull it away. So what we're doing is we're giving space here between the rib cage and the pelvis. So we're lengthening it, we're stretching it a little bit, so we're giving space. So we're kind of pulling that out, and then we're going to bring it up. Okay, and at the same time, this is a little bit of a stretch here in the neck area, but really your baby is going to get this nice stretch along that whole side of the body. Now remember, we're starting with the side that is not tight, so this should be pretty easy for your baby, and your baby's legs will probably go up to about 90 degrees, that bottom leg. Okay, so you're going to do that. And then you're going to switch your baby over to that tight side, so that that tight side is the side that's down. So for my baby, they had a right side turning preference. So now we're going to put the right side down. Okay. Again, I'm going to hold my baby here so that they're not rocking and rolling everywhere and kind of falling out of the position, because you want them to be in a nice straight line, in an aligned position. So we're going to take that bottom leg, again, just at that hip, right? We're going to kind of gently pull out. So we're tractioning away. We're giving a little stretch and then up. And so for those babies that have tightness on that side, you're not going to get up to that 90. You're probably going to go up a little, and then you're going to come back down and do a little rocking and try again and back down and a little rocking. You could do this in front of a mirror. That might be really fun for baby. I will be honest, often babies don't love this stretch, especially when we're doing the tight side. However, it is a really effective one to really stretch out this whole side that is tight. Because torticollis is very rarely ever just a neck issue, it actually is a whole body issue, and that whole side of their body is often tight, and we need to release the fascia, but also those tight muscles with some releasing techniques as well as the stretching techniques. So hopefully that helped a little bit. In addition to these specific stretches and releases you can also do side-lying naps with the tight side being down on the mattress so that gravity can help to passively stretch that side, or even supervised tummy naps with their head turned to the non-preferred side. So their head would be on the non-preferred side on the mattress. You can also do naps in the carrier with the head turned to the opposite side, tummy time, and really engaging them to move their head side to side while in tummy time with toys, or your face is going to be super important as well. Proactive care is really key in managing torticollis. Early, consistent, and patient efforts can positively impact your baby's journey to a healthier and more comfortable and happier life. Now, don't forget to check out the Baby Body Bliss Guide linked below for an in-depth assessment and guidance on addressing body tightness in your baby at home. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Understanding torticollis is the first step in helping your baby find comfort and develop with ease. Stay informed, stay proactive, and above all else, cherish these precious moments with your little one. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more informative content. Until next time, take care and keep spreading the love.